Movie Review by Rob.
Well, hey guys, Rob here, and it's been a while. I've been trying to get this review out of the way. Not out of the way because it's definitely not one of the ones I want to push aside, but let's face it, the movie's been out for a little while, and I was on vacation. Even I need a vacation. But on that vacation, I wound up seeing this movie a total of 2 times. The movie, of course, I'm talking about is Toy Story 3. All of your favorite characters return, including Woody and Buzz and the aliens and Rex and Ham and Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, as well as a few of the characters, if you haven't seen the second one, is Jessie and Bullseye, voiced all by, familiar actors. Of course, you have Tom Hanks and, Tim the Toolman Taylor. What's Tim Taylor, I'm drawing a blank right now. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Tim Allen. I knew it was Tim the Toolman Taylor, Tim Allen. That's what I know from Home Improvement. But voice of Buzz, as well as Joan Cusack as Jessie, Don Rickles as Mr. Potato Head. You know the whole gang. Now, this story, to give you a brief summary, is picking up, I would say, about 10 years after. I don't know, maybe like 7 years. I guess Andy was about 10 maybe in the last one. This takes place when he's 17 years old. He's about to go to college, and a lot of the toys, sadly enough, and not to ruin too much, have been lost or sold over the years, and it's left down to this small group of toys that are afraid of what might happen next. In fear that Andy was going to throw them away, they end up in a daycare. At first, it seems like a paradise, run by Lotso Bear, voiced by Ned Beatty. You might better know him as like Otis in the Superman movies. It turns out that the place, not so surprisingly, is more like a prison than it is a fun place for them, because they're handled roughly and they're not allowed to leave. And it's up to Woody and Buzz to save everybody and get them back to Andy's before Andy leaves for college. It sounds like a very short plot, but it's because I don't want to give too much away. It's a very fun story. It's a very emotional story. I would have to say, in comparison to the other films, this is probably the darkest, and when I mean darkest, I mean like saddest, most like unkiddy. Like Pixar lately has been doing this, like this more adult themed, and when I say adult themed, I don't mean raunchy or anything, but I mean more like it really touches and pulls on your heartstrings, and it really like says important messages, I think, such as like Up and all. So now Toy Story 3 I think fits into that. It's nowhere near as depressing as Up, I don't think, but it's definitely up there when it pulls on the heartstrings. There were 2 times, and I haven't cried since, I think, Big Fish. There were 2 times when I teared up in this movie and almost cried. So, there's a lot of new people there. Michael Keaton voices the character Ken. Whoopi Goldberg plays a character called Stretch, which is an octopus. There's a lot of fun in this. There's a lot of laugh-out-loud moments. I don't want to say too much about this because I don't think it needs a lot of background story to it, because you go into this, and I wouldn't go into it without seeing at least the first 2 films, and you're going to go into it, and you're going to expect the characters that you love, and they're going to put you into events and situations that you could probably relate to a little bit more. That's what I always love about sequels. Don't necessarily have to be like just to throw the characters in there. They can develop stories, but at the same time, you don't have to develop those characters anymore, and we automatically have like an understanding with them. So I think that really works well in this film, because you're happy to see characters that you grew up with. I mean, personally, myself, I think the first one came out in, what, like 93? Something like that. So, for the most part, I grew up with these characters from the age of, like, 7 or 8. I remember being young and really being into, like, these characters and having the toys and stuff. So, being, 24 now and seeing the third one, I can still relate to those characters. So, overall, my opinion, this movie gets a 5 out of 5. I don't do that often, but I saw it twice within a week. I don't do that often. And I would have to say, and a lot of people might fight me on this, but it is my favorite out of the 3. The first one was great story, good animation, really had, some heartthrob moments as well, but you were still getting to know the characters. 2 I actually liked a lot too, but not as much as 1. But 2, like, I thought really took the animation to another level with the ending in the airport situation and finding out more backstory about Woody and all. But 3, I think 3 closes the story. You know, 3 is like what Return of the Jedi was to Star Wars. It like really puts everything in perspective and kind of, you know, bookends it nicely. So, I mean, I think in my mind, I would sooner watch 3 again than I would 1 or 2, just because it has so many, like, key moments and it really pulls the characters into your emotional, like, where you can relate to them. So, that is my opinion for Toy Story 3. I'm sorry I didn't get it to you earlier. No, I did not see Jonah Hex, but the preview looks horrible. I think that one might be a wait for DVD because of Megan Fox, who I absolutely can't stand when she's on the screen. I'm sorry, Megan Fox fans. As well as it looks like Wild Wild West meets, you know, Jonah Hex. It doesn't look, I don't know, it's kind of really campy. As well, I believe something else came out this week, but I know next week The Grown Ups comes out with Adam Sandler, David Spade, Rob Schneider, Kevin James, and Chris Rock. I'm really looking forward to that one. Hope to see it on midnight and hope to bring you a review by Friday morning. Oh, and if you're wondering what shirt I'm wearing, it says Devolve, and it has it's cool, it's the apes, you know, evolving into man, and then finally a zombie. That is actually for a film I'm working on right now called My Boring Zombie Apocalypse. These shirts will eventually come to Hot Topic if they sell out nationwide in select Hot Topics. But if you want to support the film or you just really like the shirt, you can pick them up at myboringzombieapocalypse.com. I'll have it linked in the side. They're about $25, and we have a special if you you pitch $50 and you get a shirt and you get your name in the credits for supporting us. So if you are interested in that at all, check out myboringzombieapocalypse.com. And tune in later this week, hopefully, for a review of The Grown Ups. And once again, I apologize it took so long to get you this review, but Toy Story 3 needs not much from me to say because it's an excellent film. So check it out if you haven't already, and if you have, check it out again. It's good the second time through. Until next time.